Let's go Browns fans. Imagine this scenario. Imagine this quarterback room. Joe Flacco, Kenny Pickett, Dylan Gabriel, and Shedeur Sanders. Yes, you heard that right. 2 veteran quarterbacks and 2 rookie quarterbacks, all potentially competing for a starting spot in the 2025 NFL season. It sounds chaotic, unpredictable, and honestly, it feels like the most Cleveland Browns thing ever. But this isn't just speculation, it comes straight from ESPN's latest projections for the Browns rookie class. And what they're predicting for the Browns quarterback situation, well, it's enough to make any fan stop what they're doing and start seriously wondering about the direction of this team. Let's break it down. But first, make sure you've clicked like if you've been a Cleveland Browns fan for over 20 years. All the respect. Now, I want to ask you something. On a scale of 0 to 10, how would you rate Kevin Stefanski as the Browns head coach? Comment below. Well, let's get right to it. ESPN's Mike Clay has made a bombshell prediction about how the rookies will perform in the 2025 season. And while much attention has been paid to some of the league's most high-profile names, the Browns have found themselves in the middle of one of the most intriguing storylines. Projections for quarterback have Cam Ward leading all rookies with 3,300 yards, but that's not where the real drama lies for Cleveland. No, the real headline comes from what's expected to happen with 3rd-round draft pick Dylan Gabriel and 5th-round draft pick Shedeur Sanders. Both rookies, Clay says, will play significant roles, 5 starts for Gabriel and 4 for Sanders. Now stop right there. Think about that for a moment. 9 starts combined between 2 rookie quarterbacks. For most teams, this would seem like pure madness. Bench one rookie to start another rookie? It's almost unheard of. But then again, we're talking about the Cleveland Browns, a franchise with a long, painful history of quarterback carousel chaos. As wild as this sounds, is it really that shocking? Here's where it gets even juicier. The ESPN projection suggests this split isn't due to injuries. This is performance-based. It implies that the Browns could actually start the season with Joe Flacco, the veteran, only to bench him after a few games. Then Dylan Gabriel steps in, maybe for 5 games. And then after that, another switch. Out goes Gabriel, and comes Shedeur Sanders. Try to remember the last time any NFL team willingly rotated rookie quarterbacks midseason based on performance alone. You probably can't, because it never happens. Except, maybe, in Cleveland. And if you're wondering why the Browns would even consider something this drastic, it goes deeper than just performance. There's a real belief, shared by people inside the building and those covering the team, that Dylan Gabriel and Shedeur Sanders represent 2 very different visions for the future of this offense. Gabriel, taken in the 3rd round, feels like a Kevin Stefanski pick. Someone who fits Stefanski's system, someone he believes can run his offense the way he envisions it. On the other hand, there's chatter that Shedeur Sanders was more of an Andrew Berry or even a Jimmy Haslam pick. A player selected not necessarily because he was Stefanski's top choice, but because others in the organization saw his upside and potential brand value. That internal tug-of-war? It could very well spill onto the field. If Gabriel starts and struggles, do the decision-makers who were pounding the table for Sanders step in and push for their guy? It's the kind of behind-the-scenes drama that doesn't just stay behind the scenes. It plays out every Sunday in front of millions. And let's not overlook the elephant in the room, Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett, 2 veterans who, as of now, are penciled in as part of this competition. But ESPN's projections seem to suggest neither is expected to hold the job long-term. Think about that. The Browns brought in Flacco last season, and while he delivered some memorable moments, he's clearly not the future. Kenny Pickett, a young quarterback with starting experience from Pittsburgh, is in the mix. But the fact that the projections don't have him starting the majority of games tells you everything you need to know about how the Browns view this situation. And if you're still thinking this sounds like a worst-case scenario, just wait, because the projections don't stop at quarterback. They also include rookie running back Quinton Judkins. Mike Clay's numbers have Judkins racking up 922 rushing yards on 211 carries. For context, only 13 of 74 running backs drafted in rounds 2 or 3 since 2011 have hit the 800-yard mark as rookies. That's a pretty exclusive club, and Judkins is being projected to not only meet that bar but exceed it. Now pause and let that sink in. A rookie running back producing nearly 1,000 yards while 2 rookie quarterbacks combined for 9 starts. This isn't just a rebuild, it's a full-on youth movement. Whether by design or by desperation, the Browns could be staring down one of the most volatile, high-risk seasons in recent memory. The kind of season that either launches a new era of success or sends the franchise back into the cycle of chaos it knows all too well. And as we start imagining how this plays out on the field, you can't help but ask the question, is this Stefanski's call? Is this Andrew Berry's call? Or is it ownership once again sticking their hands into the football side of the operation? If Gabriel really is Stefanski's guy, and Sanders is the pick of Berry or Haslam, what happens when Gabriel struggles? Does Stefanski get the leash to ride it out? Or does the front office force his hand? This is the exact scenario that has plagued this franchise for years. Mixed signals from the top, competing visions, and a lack of clear direction. But at the same time, it's also what makes this upcoming season one of the most fascinating in the NFL. So now, I want to hear from you. Browns fans, if you had to bet right now, who starts more games for Cleveland in 2025, Dillon Gabriel or Shedeur Sanders? And let's not pretend this only affects the quarterbacks, because as much as the QB drama grabs the headlines, the ripple effect on the rest of the offense is massive. Let's talk about what this means for the offensive line, for the wide receivers, and most importantly, for a backfield now poised to feature Quinton Judkins as a potential breakout star. If Judkins really does put together a rookie campaign with over 900 rushing yards, as ESPN predicts, that's not just a pleasant surprise, that's a foundational shift for this offense. Think about the context here. Since 2011, only 13 running backs drafted in rounds 2 or 3 have managed to eclipse 800 rushing yards as rookies. That's a short list that includes names like Kareem Hunt, Le'Veon Bell, Jonathan Taylor, and Miles Sanders. And yet, Judkins is projected to join them. If that happens, it doesn't just mean Judkins is the real deal. It means the Browns can start to think seriously about what life looks like after Nick Chubb. Because let's be real, as much as we all love Chubb, the injuries are piling up, the mileage is real, and the front office has to start thinking long-term. But here's the twist. If the quarterback situation turns into a revolving door between Gabriel and Sanders, what does that do to Judkins' production? Rookie quarterbacks are notoriously inconsistent, which means defenses are going to stack the box, daring Cleveland to beat them through the air. Judkins could face loaded fronts week after week, and yet, maybe that's exactly the kind of challenge that forges the next great Browns running back. And speaking of challenges, let's not forget the coaching staff. Kevin Stefanski is walking a razor-thin line this season. On one hand, he has to develop 2 rookie quarterbacks. On the other, he has to win games. And those 2 goals are often in direct conflict. Play the veteran? Maybe you eke out a few ugly wins. But throw the rookies into the fire? You risk disaster, or you uncover gold. This isn't just about 2025. This is about the future of Kevin Stefanski in Cleveland. If the Gabriel experiment flames out, and then Sanders comes in and struggles too, how much longer does Stefanski have? Especially if it becomes clear that the front office preferred Sanders all along. It's the kind of political football that can tear an organization apart from the inside. And then there's the fan base. You, Browns fans, the most passionate, loyal, and, let's be honest, battle-hardened fan base in the NFL. You've seen this movie before. Quarterback controversies, coaching changes, front office meddling. But here's the difference this time. This one feels like it has real stakes. This isn't just another lost season. This is the franchise deciding, in real time, what kind of team it's going to be for the next 5 years. Are they a team that trusts their head coach to develop his guy, Dillon Gabriel, the quarterback he picked in the 3rd round? Or are they a team where the ownership steps in midseason and says, nope, we're running with Shedeur Sanders now, regardless of how ready he is? And what happens if both rookies flash talent but neither looks ready to be the long-term answer? Do the Browns go back into the draft in 2026 hunting for yet another quarterback? The very thought of it probably makes half of you throw your hands in the air. But this is what makes Browns football, well, Browns football. It's unpredictable. It's chaotic. It's never boring. And yet, there's hope buried in this madness. Because if Gabriel does hit, if Sanders proves the doubters wrong, if Judkins runs wild behind an offensive line that finds its groove, suddenly this team looks a lot different. Suddenly, the Browns aren't just surviving the post-Chubb, post-Flacco era, they're thriving in it.